Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Sunday, May 10th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is a cat crying. It is, I nurture that which I value. And we really want to remember that energy as we have Saturn going retrograde. I promise she's not being tortured. Joe literally just walked out the door and she's crying for him because that is one of the things she very much values. May we all love to the degree of my crying kitty. Anyways, so it's not torture, seriously. Anyway, wow. We are at the beginning of a major week. We have Saturn going retrograde, and this is the first of 3 retrogrades this week, and 2 other planetary shifts into other signs this week. So, major shift this week. Now, to be fair, Saturn will not be going retrograde until 9 p.m. Pacific tonight. So we have a large portion of the day, and some of us all the day, to really hold space for the vibration, for the vision, for this future energy. Because even though we are going to have Saturn going retrograde, we are still going to be building a future. But we have some review, we have some completion, some tidying up, some going back and learning some more lessons to do. So that's what retrograde really is. It's review of the lessons. Retrograde is a turning within, a place where we need to okay, let me really look deep inside myself for what this lesson is, for what I'm being taught, for what the universe is trying to get through my thick skull. So we're all going to be experiencing this. Now, let me be fair. Saturn will be retrograde in Aquarius through till July, and then it will retrograde back into Capricorn. So for now, we still have this Aquarius energy. So it's like reviewing, I'd say the last, since April, since about mid-April or beginning of April, what have been those lessons that Saturn and Aquarius have taught you about the future, about coming together as community, that we are better together. Luce, kitty, Lucy, come here, baby. You're not alone. We're better together. We need one another, because otherwise you may sound like my little crying kitty who may make an appearance. She's debating. Anyways, we are better together. We're here to work together. We each have a gift and a vision to bring forth. And sometimes in the old way of being, it's been each one for himself. And so this is a call to go beyond that place where it's been each one for himself and realize we are better together. But we may have to review this. We may have to experience some opening up, experience some change in order to really understand this lesson. Now, here's an interesting thing that's happening at the same time. So the last couple days, we've had the moon in Sagittarius as we've been finishing up Saturn direct in Aquarius. And now we have a shift into Capricorn energy. The Capricorn feels like a double-edged sword. It has 2 things that it's going to be bringing to this retrograde process. So one thing on, let's say, the positive side of things, it's helping us look at the energy of structure, the energy of the foundations that we're building. What is important? What is imperative? What has integrity that we really want to nurture and put into these new foundations that we're building for the future? But the other thing that this Capricorn energy can bring up, because the moon loves to bring the light and the dark side, it can bring up the shoulds. And I feel shoulds border on shame energy. And so I think shame is something we need to leave behind and instead embrace the understanding that Aquarius energy can bring, that we each have our own path, we each have our own frequency, we each have our own stories, we each have our own experiences, and there's no shame in that. We don't need to shame somebody. We are here, again, to work together. So keep this in mind, bear this in mind, but if you feel the shoulds come up, maybe this is an opportunity to go back to my energy mantra, to nurture that which is valuable, to nurture that which is important to you. And instead of focusing on the shame, nurture the flip side of it, nurture the value that's there, and nurture any place that there may be some wounding that brings forth that shame energy. So this is going to be important. We will be looking at it more, but just be aware. Here we go. Woo! Into retrogrades. And one more time, retrograde is review. So the fact that we have 3 planets going retrograde this week, and then more coming in later. This is important review for us because Spirit Universe is like, humans, get it right. Sneeze. That's the explanation point on the end of humans. Get this right. Let's work together. So, besides that, like I said, Moon in Capricorn. Moon in Capricorn, bringing up the shoulds. Moon in Capricorn connecting to Uranus energy. Again, Uranus and Taurus is reminding us that which is valuable. A lot of times, we as humans have to lose or have some kind of challenge in order to really embrace the valuable things in our life. And so, to me, this is like, hey, don't make the universe take us to that level. Really do take time to notice and nurture that which is valuable. I have to say, this is something that I find myself doing a lot. Before Joe and I were together, I had this, really strong desire to be with him. And I can't tell you how many nights I will be there lying in his arms and like, I am so grateful for this. This is what I wanted, and I am so thankful. We need to think about those things. I do that with my cats. I can't tell you how long, but my mom wouldn't let me have cats. I wanted animals, and so often I'm like, wow, it's so crazy. These living beings choose to be here with me and provide me with so much. We really do want to tune into the values that we have around us, more so than the money that we have or the beautiful things that we have. What are these things that we really don't want to have to remember how to live without? So tuning into that energy. Let's see, what's going on besides that? Yeah, speaking of that, the connection between Mercury and Jupiter. Jupiter in Capricorn, Mercury in Taurus. Really tuning into the things that we've built into our lives, that we've created in our lives, that mean something. To me, this Mercury finishing up in Taurus energy takes some time to actually provide your gratitude out there, to speak it. Like, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you're in my life. Like, I value you. And then walk the talk. Like, really show up behind that energy because this is going to be important. I'm telling you. Sun connecting to Neptune energy. So Sun in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, a little bit of lazy catting going on. Anytime we have Pisces and Taurus energy, it's like Spirit wants to like quiet us down, to like bring in the downloads, to bring in the transmissions. So be willing to be still, meditate like a kitty, and listen. Not my crying kitty, but she's done crying because he came back in the door. So she feels the same I do. But really tune into that. And that's one of the things, like, for so long, we as humans have shamed ourselves, like, oh my God, resting, napping, it's not productive. It is extremely productive. And giving time for those downloads to come in and integrate is extremely important. So if you are feeling that, provide yourself the rest that you need. And then that is it for the day. After that, like I said, Saturn going retrograde late in the evening. So let's look at the cards. Like I said, completion. Saturn retrograde, we have lessons to review. If you look back over these last several months, like basically since January time, what have been the major lessons that you've had to face? What have been some of your major challenges? Because that's often where the lessons lie. That's often where Saturn's like, what is your responsibility here? How can you respond in a way that's true to you? So really tuning into that. Understanding and sharing. I think the sharing is like sharing your light, sharing your gratitude, again, for those things that you value. Understanding that everybody has their own path and has their own way of moving through the lessons. The Ordinariness card, this is the card of like, there are gifts everywhere for us. But here we have the schizophrenia card. Schizophrenia energy. I feel like that's the moon in Capricorn, the double-edged. One side the shoulds and the other side like, no, let me take the time to build these foundations that are so important. If you find yourself falling into the shoulds, where are you carrying some shame? And finally, the ripeness. The universe is like, I know this feels like a lot, but you're ready for this. So I'm going to trust the universe and say, okay, we're ready. Here we go this week into the intensity. So that is it for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com, if you would like some help sorting through your lessons and paths. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. And one more, stay curious. Namaste.